my system over here. But Arif, today, how you doing, my brother?
I'm doing great. Thank you, man.
All right. Once again, everybody, it's DJ Gatsby, the BBE podcast. Sorry for the delay in getting the podcast online. Had a few technical difficulties, as I always seem to do with this show. But nevertheless, we got the kinks worked out. We have a reoccurring guest, one of my favorite men, a mentor, good friend, father figure. I can't say enough about this guy. He's just a treasure to work with, and it's been a pleasure to know him as a friend. Mr. Arif Khatib is in the building with us today. Arif, how are you, my brother?
Thank you for having me, Brother Gatsby. I'm doing just great. It's an honor to be on your show.
Yeah, thank you for being so patient with the process as we got started, man. As I said, we had a few kinks, but it's well worth the wait. Got a lot of information, a lot of things to cover. Arif, again, as I said, is a recurring guest, sports historian, author. I mean, the list goes on. All the accolades that he's received. But we're here today to talk about his latest project that's been in the works. If you've been following my show, Arif, you know he released a book. You tell us, for my guests who don't know who you are, tell them who you are, where you're from, and a little bit about the work that you've been doing the last few years.
Terrific. Thank you very much. And I wanted today to concentrate on the visual aspect of this, and that's the film, because a lot of our people don't read. And I wanted to be sure to know that there's some rich history that's being overlooked because you're not reading. I am a native of Arkansas, and been in California for a number of years. I've done a number of things over those years. I've established 5 companies, 3 corporations. The primary being in the last 25 years is the founder and president of the Multi-Ethnic Sports Hall of Fame, which is a Hall of Fame that inducts athletes of color.
Yes, sir.
I've written 6 books. The most recent 2 is one you was trying to think of before, is In the Shadows of Obscurity.
That's it.
And the last one is Remember Their Sacrifice, which is presently being used in 3 historical Black colleges in U.S. history and sociology, and I'm very happy about that.
Congratulations.
During that same time, we produced a film, a 141-minute film that I want to talk about today because it has been streaming on television and has great reception.
Yeah, I did some research on the film. It is streaming on quite a few streaming platforms and is available. We'll mention those platforms later on in the show, but congratulations on that film. I also want to thank you for using my platform to come as we celebrate Black History Month to talk about the rich history of people of color and all the athletes and all the things that they have accomplished. So tell us the title of this project that we're going to be talking about today.
This one is, we had one, we talked about the book and the film, Because They Believed.
Yes.
And it was named because when I was doing the 16 individuals on the interviews, I interviewed all of them.
Sure.
I'd asked certain individuals, particularly ones like in track and field, because although it's a team, it's individual sport when they get out on the field. And so I'd ask them, how did you achieve what you've achieved? They said, because I believed I could. And so consequently, I named the film Because They Believed, and believed that because all of these athletes' achievements was because they believed they could.
Sure. Yeah, I saw the screening of the film here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I think you had Dr. John Carlos there,
Right.
one of the key figures in the book and the film. There's a lot of other athletes there, but he's one of the main. He's one of the athletes that I actually had a chance to talk to and hear speak at that event. How was the film doing so far?
It's doing very, very well. Very well. I'm really pleased about the receptions. Byron Allen bought the film.
Okay.
And consequently, that enabled us to reach a much wider audience In fact, it's everywhere. I had friends to text me from cruise ships. They were watching it on cruise ships. I'm so thankful for the brother Alan to be in the position he's in, so he's strong enough in the media profession that he can do things like this and get it out there. Otherwise, it would have been a challenge for us to get this in the mainstream if it not be for this brother being in the position he's in. That shows you the importance of having people of color in certain positions when you're doing these kinds of projects. And so I thank him. I dearly love the brother for doing it.
Yeah, I'm familiar with Byron Allen. He's a black television executive. I believe he owns a media company. He recently um, produced an award show that I saw. It was an amazing award show, man. I can't really think of the name of the show. I watched the Griot channel that I know he owns,
Yeah,
as well as numerous television stations and probably other broadcast companies, man. So
yeah.
big shout out to him, man, and kudos to you for getting that deal with him. That's a huge accomplishment for you, your legacy, and that film.
Yeah.
Now, I want to ask you a few questions about that film. Again, we had talked about it before, but I've been following you over the years since we've been interviews, and some of the film festivals that the film has been featured in, and possibly some awards that it's won. Can you fill us in on some of the film festivals or any awards and recognition that the film has gotten
You know,
for you?
name them, but we were in 12. But we won an award in 8 of the 12. And that is
Okay,
basically got the attention of a company called Freestyle Digital Media. And
okay,
it ended up figuring out that Freestyle Digital Media was owned by Byron Allen,
sure,
among many of his things. So they saw the film in one of the festivals and contacted us. I remember the first person who contacted, there was a number of people who reached out to us, but their mind wasn't in the right place. Their whole heart wasn't in the right place, and I turned them down. But
yeah,
when they reached out because a lot of the people, when they would call, I knew that they were looking for the bottom line. They would say,
sure,
Khatib, this is a great, big, this wonderful film here. We can do so and so and so and so with this film. That means they were not interested in the content. It meant that they were interested in the bottom line. When
sure.
Byron's group called me, they says, wow, this is incredible. These interviews, who did the interviews? That means that person got into it. Ultimately, I found out he was a historian. So
Sure.
it took that kind of attention, and that came from the film festivals.
Yeah, amazing array of athletes and stories were compiled in the film. Some of them I had heard of, some of them I had not. I'm sure anybody who watches the film will definitely learn a lot about people of color, particularly all the ethnicities that are featured and some of the stories. Now, the producer Steve Bernier, I believe I interviewed him for my show some last year. Tell us a little bit about Steve Bernier and how he came to be the producer for the film.
I am the producer, Steve. He's the director.
Director. Okay. All
He's the
right. That's
director.
incorrect.
And so the story about that, and we've been on several interviews together this month. The story with that is that, first of all, Stephen knew absolutely zero about sports and sports athletes. But he and I have been friends since 1998. And we didn't
Okay.
talk, we didn't do business together for about 20 years because he went in a different direction than I did. We ended up together again when I found out he was doing films. So I went to him and gave this proposal to him. And he says, Arif, I don't know anything about that. I know that. I'll do everything you need done. So I had the film already done. I'd done all the interviews. And all needed him to do was to direct the rest of it and we edited it together and it was done. That's why I was able to get it out within about 6 months as opposed to a longer period of time. So Stephen and I have become very, very close since then. We're doing another project now. He's fallen in love with this film because he learned something that he did not know before, not just about sports, but about African Americans and the contributions to American sports and America in general. So that was a big thing for him.
Yeah, wow. You guys definitely a good collaboration. You work well together, and that comes out in the film. Um, what is your historical um, what is your historical take on the film now that it's been out? You've seen how it's been received. You've seen all the accolades, that you've received. What is the historical significance from your point of view for this particular film?
I think it's because it is going to enlighten people about uh, the athletes who broke through. These athletes broke through the racial divide.
Sure.
And they're going to, as you indicated before, some of you've heard of them, some of you haven't. That's the idea. And that's our mission. That's my theme, is shining the light on those who've been gone unrecognized, sometimes unheard of before, but they made contribution. In this film, you've got people like Billy Mills. And I did so many interviews and book signings, and few people knew who Billy Mills is or was. He's alive, very much alive.
Sure.
This man was the second Native American to win a gold medal for the United States Olympics. The first one was Jim Thorpe in 1912, and in 1964, Billy Mills won the gold medal in the 10,000 meters in Tokyo. The strange part about that, I don't get everything about the film. You look at the film, you'll see. And listen what he had to go through as a Native American. Thought about committing suicide at the University of Kansas, All-American, because of the way they treated him. Talk about the fact that they wouldn't give him shoes to run in when he ran for the Olympics because they said it was going to be for the winners. He says, I'm going to win. They said, sure, sure. And when he won, press was running up to him and said, who are you? Who are you? It's a very compelling story, and people need to see the film, to listen to what he has to say. Very, very profound. Another one in there there are a lot of them. There's a lot, but one, Dr.
Sure.
Kim.
Yes.
From South Korea, who is the only female great grandmaster in Taekwondo in the world. She's in my Hall of Fame. All of these persons are in my Hall of Fame as I speak of. And listen to her story when she came to America from Korea into New York. Listen to how they treated her. And today, she's making tremendous contributions to America and is a multimillionaire.
Wow, that's definitely an amazing character in the book. I understand character, but amazing athlete in the book.
And in the film.
Yeah, and the film as well. And people will be very interested and amazed at some of the other stories that you have in there. Now, for this question is really about you. Now, you're a sports historian. You founded the Multi-Anthem Sports Hall of Fame. How has this film changed your life as you continue to be a sports historian? How has this particular film impacted you and the work that you do?
You know, it's strange. When I established the Hall of Fame in 1998, I feel the same way about it today as I did then, because it's done exactly what I wanted it to do. It filled the void. It inducted athletes that, according to some of the other traditionals, so to speak, felt that they were ineligible. Yet, when you watch television, 80% of the NBA players are black. Probably 60% of the NFL players are black. Unfortunately, only about 7% of Major League Baseball is black. But any sport that we've ever been allowed to participate in, we have dominated.
Absolutely.
And we dominated tennis right now, dominated golf, lacrosse. You name it, we have dominated. And today, many of them continue to dominate. So I thought it was important that people know this. And I want to give pride to my people, to let them know that you are a powerful, powerful race. Wake up, race, and display this power, because we are leaders. We're not followers.
Absolutely.
Don't let anyone tell you anything different.
Yeah. Now, you put this film together, and you touched upon a lot of stories of unheralded, unsung athletes, male and female, from around the world.
Right.
What are some of the challenges that you think, historians like yourself are going to have to deal with current and modern day um, history through sports, because a lot of books are being destroyed, a lot of information is being destroyed. If you look at the politics today, a lot's being done to kind of bury a lot of historical accomplishments for athletes and others. What are some of the challenges you see going forward with documenting this history the way you've done in this particular film?
First of all, what I do is not uh, directed in any way and or interfered by any way with politics. I don't bring politics into it.
Sure.
I believe that we have the power within ourselves to make a difference. And if we don't write our history, who's going to write it? If someone else writes it, it's not us. It is not going to be told accurately. So it's important that we all step up to the plate and do our part, because you know, all of us have a responsibility in the role. It just changes with depending where you are. But to be more specific to your question, I don't see any challenges to that, because I'm going to continue to write, and I'm encouraging others to continue to write. We have mentees that we're teaching to write and to make film, and basically to tell the story. It's important that the story be told. These athletes, they faced unimaginable racism, because and they think, and some people think that civil rights has ended. It has never ended, because, as I indicated, each generation has a responsibility and a role to play. People only have a Eurocentric version of history, but I want to tell them there's another history. It's called Black history. And Black history is from January the 1st to December the 31st. Get rid of the month. Let's have Black history every month, every day, every week.